Soon they'll be on their feet from here to Madrid as I welcome someone who's humble, kind, and talented. So put your hands together for one of a kind human being. Last name Faustino, first name David. David Faustino, welcome to the TKN Celebrity Tournament, my friend.
Wow. Holy moly, mother of God.
David, can you recall a positive moment in your life in which you've either received tough love or given it, my friend?
It's a great question. Growing up as a child star, which I did, I actually wish I had received more tough love, to be quite honest with you, because I was able to get away with a lot of crap, and in that position, no one sort of puts you in your place, and you sort of grow up thinking you're special, and I'm not special. I'm just one of the pack, and so I wish I had more tough love. My mom attempted to give it, but she was a bit of an enabler. And then my father was the complete opposite. He gave like extreme tough love, the kind that you sort of repel against because it's so intense and insane. So I've had to give myself tough love, to be quite honest with you, and learn it. I had an incident with my daughter last night, actually. She's dancing, she's 8 years old and she's very talented. But when it comes to dance, she wants to get like everything right.
And if she makes a mistake
or can't keep up with, say, the next girl, she like really beats herself up and gets like, she goes within, she withdraws. And I can totally relate to that because I used to be the same way with a lot of things, in acting class or whatever it was, and I had to be, it's this perfectionism thing that happens. So I had to get tough with her last night and be like, look,
you don't have to be.
This is called class. This is not, the curtain's not going up right now. That's later on. Right now you're in class. Be in class, be one of the pack, learn, fail, mistake, fall, get up, and do it again. And so as I'm teaching her that, I'm learning it myself. I'm like, well, where are these words coming from? So that's the tough love I'm giving now is to my daughter. I have a 2-year-old son who I'd love to get some tough love to. This guy has got a whack, a punch at 2 years old that you would not believe. His name is Cassius, of course. I don't know why we named him Cassius. He's got a punch just like Cassius Clay. So yeah, I got to give him some tough love soon, but right now he's giving me tough love.
I'm going to start things off with Mr. David Faustino, guys and gals and pals who are watching. The question is, David, if the very first moments of your life included opening credits with a song that everyone could hear, what song would you select for your opening credits and why? And if your very last day alive included closing credits with a song that all could hear, what song would you select for your closing credits and why?
But I chose... For my life intro, I went with the Beatles, the great Beatles, of course. It's a tremendous song. First of all, it's a great song. My kids love it. I love it. I love blasting it. My kids love the Beatles. I put that in their ears early on so they could get, because they're so magical in their creativity. They can do basically anything. I picked Baby You're a Rich Man because the lyrics, it's not about money, obviously. The song has nothing to do with money. It's the riches of the universe. It's the riches of being connected. It's the riches of talent. It's the riches of waking up. Some of the lyrics, it says, how does it feel to be one of the beautiful people? Now that you know who you are, what do you want to be? And have you traveled very far? Yes, as far as the eye can see. It relates so much to me and my spiritual journey, my struggle. Also, if you take it in a literal sense, have you traveled very far? Yes, I've traveled the whole world, except for Greece. How often have you been there? Often enough to know. I think it's kind of like, how many times have you had a spiritual experience and woken up and often enough to know, nothing that doesn't show. So, I mean, that's my intro song, but my outro would be My Way by the late, great Frank Sinatra. The song sums it up. It's just a tremendous song. I was subjected to a lot of jazz as a child. My dad was a jazz fiend. Like I'm a hip hop fiend, my dad was a jazz fiend. And I think that opened the floodgates from my love of music and my love of hip hop music. So I picked My Way, and there's just some, tremendous, it says now the end is near. And so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I've traveled each and every highway, and much more than this, I did it my way. Beautiful song. That would be my closing curtain song, My Way by Frank Sinatra.
I can't believe, and I think it was also cutting edge for you to include some of your love and passion of all things hip hop. We haven't talked Married with Children yet, and guys and gals, that's the thing. We're not going to talk about the same old, but man, what a show, how creative it was. The two writers, one of them has passed on, geniuses, there's no doubt, giving you guys flexibility and freedom. We know that they weren't on all of the markets in 87, we know that, so not everybody can even see the show, for crying out loud. But then it was an overnight success. There was a really wealthy lady, if I'm not mistaken, right? And she had a lot of clout, and now the sponsors were coming in at a certain point in time because of her influence. But then you were able to really incorporate what you're passionate about, which is music. Now, through the art form of something that was humorous, and you brought in a lot of levity, but the fact that they were able to be receptive about that was pretty cool, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where the whole my alter ego, Grandmaster B, was born.
Right.
I had guys coming to the set, like, again, from Eazy-E to Ice Cube.
Sure.
They were all hanging out on the set, and the writers were like, what's going on here, And then they created the Grandmaster B character, which was an homage to my love of music, but also to poke a little bit of fun at me.
There are many accolades I can give this man for his versatility, durability, as he is hip-hop royalty, but these rhymes are going to wind down as I've reached the home stretch. So put your hands together for an intelligent, down-to-earth storyteller and human being, the one and only Treach.
Yo, that was dope.
I appreciate
You better
that.
a lot of these rappers out there.
Let's kick it off to Mr. Treach, who selected Good Times as the most iconic TV theme song of all time.
Growing up watching a show where I'm from,
It's like it wasn't too many
shows out there show, for one, like the ghetto and the struggle in Chicago, and it was just the soulfulness of the record and everything they were saying. It was like, they mentioned everything, temporary layoffs, good times. So even when we made our record, Everything's Gonna Be All Right, we talked about the struggle in the streets, but at the hook, it always said, everything's gonna be all right, the Bob Marley song. Even though everything they were going through, that was so much of poverty and everything else, the chorus came in and said, good times. So you were still here, you were still living, no matter what you was going through. You had food on the table at the end of the day. You came home from work and school safe. You know what I mean? You had a temporary layoff. You had inflation. You had all this you was going through, but it was so inspiring to me to just hear good times. So it always made me say, if I ever get to where I want to do as far as hip hop and rap was concerned, I will always want to make a record talking about the struggle, but letting everybody know, because it's not, everybody think like it's just black people that's poor. You know what I mean? It's every race, every genre that goes through some type of struggle and suffering. Everybody is not born with a silver spoon in their mouth. So it was like, just to tell the people, no matter what the struggle is, everything gonna be all right. They was like, it just kept in your mind, good times, good times, good times. It's so like, it was so soulful, and the way they were singing, it sounded like it was like a church song, but it was like on the corner when you hear the old head singing on the corner in front of the garbage can, and you like, damn, they poor, but they got voices like they could be out there with record deals, but everybody don't make it. So it was just so inspiring. So that was one of my favorites, good times.
Guys and gals, Treach, well, let us know. Has technology made it easier or harder to advance human rights?
I think technology, as far as giving you more knowledge than you ever would have had, with us just watching the news, looking at the newspapers, reading what you can do in books, you could really see what's going on through the whole entire world. You feel what I'm saying? So I feel technology definitely gave an opportunity for you to get more educated on everything. We didn't have that, none of us, and I'm younger than the legends that's out here, Tom and Don, but they could tell you as well, like technology is to a point now that you could learn a lot from kids. Technology has definitely took it to a spot where you could get more, knowledge, period, on any and everything. Definitely.
Thank you. Treach, would you agree? We came from a generation where we were kind of at the tipping point where we don't have to live with some of the tech that's out there, and we understand it, but we also could live without it.
Yeah. I mean, we could go outside and have fun, you know what I mean? We didn't have phones, you know what I mean? Our biggest probably technology back then was 2-way pagers.
Yeah.
But you still had to go to a phone booth. You know what I mean? You couldn't pull up information. It was before the laptop. It was before any type of computers where you could pull up and get the information you needed. You had to get that from the school or libraries or the news or anything else. So technology is definitely, one on giving you every bit of information from every part of every aspect of the world.
But you know what? You've done a ton of these, man. Did you have a nice time tonight, David?
I did. I really enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed hanging out with you guys. I enjoyed hanging out with Kelly.
Yeah.
Reconnecting. It's been a long time seeing Jeremy and Brian. He's a great dude. And you're all right too, Avi.
So Treach, Don Most, and Tom Holland will all be moving in a few months, of course, to round number 2 of the celebrity tournament. Incredible.
This is what we do, yo.
Wow.
This is what we do. And I was going to say either way it went. Thank you, Abe. But I was going, Tom, Don, I'm a true fan. Yo, I never watched all of your movies through, Tom, because they scared the crap out of me. I didn't see the twist plot, so I couldn't not dis. But it's a pleasure, yo. Love y'all, man.
Pleasure. It's great to meet you. It's great to meet you too, Treach.
Yeah, Avi, you did a great job.
Treach, there's a lot that you're doing. There's a lot that you're doing artistically, creatively, but on a human level. Thank you for connecting with us tonight, my friend.
Thank you for having and setting this up. Couldn't do it without you. They could tell you, anybody could tell you that's close around me. I hate doing interviews and all that because they don't get in depth. It's usually like I do the same interview for 30 years. Like everybody asks the same questions. I want to take my hats off. I don't have on right now, but my hats off to you because when you could stay on and do this, I could have stayed on for hours more. I love different topics and, you letting us speak and just reaching other things we never ever spoke about. That's what make interviews fun, not doing the same monotonous stuff. So hats off to you, man. Appreciate you.